Welcome to Second Take, the show that focuses on the issues behind the news. Mining Weekly editor Martin Creamer joins me today to unpack the latest in the mining industry. Welcome, Martin.
Hi, Sashni.
Can you firstly unpack for us the green technology boost for African mining?
Yes, I really like this. For a long time, we have been looking at the way things are produced here and the extent to which you use electricity, probably needlessly as we see now, because they've been using 100-year-old technology, smelting, pyrometallurgy. Now we see that life sciences come back with a situation where you use hydrometallurgy, you use chemicals to actually produce your metals, and because you're doing that, you do so much more on site. Now, Kabanga Nickel would have had to send their concentrate for thousands of miles, or even to get it to concentrate would have been a big issue. And when you're doing that, you're actually putting carbon into the air, which we're not supposed to be doing. So those huge distances that Africa normally had to travel have now been eliminated by this. And it's a technology that is not Cal technology that we see popping up now at the Sedi Bellows Pillansberg mine. But it is it takes some of its sort of know-how from that, and it's the same people involved with Kabanga Nickel in Tanzania. And this will sort of get the African mind going that we can do a lot more here. If you do the refining on site and close to site, you then employ a lot more people, and those people are at a higher technical level. So all that was done outside in different parts of the world, normally the Northern Hemisphere. Now, with this new technology, it can be done right on site. And when I say new technology, it's proven technology. So, we know that it all got started in our mint tech in the 80s, and these particular individuals have now had tremendous patience going through, but all the time proving up the technology. Now suddenly it's bursting forth. And it's bursting forth, fortunately, in South Africa, where the IDC, the state-owned IDC, has been involved. Pallinghurst Group have been very good to bring this through. It only uses 18% to 20% of the electricity. In South Africa, that means a lot. And if you bring down that electricity need, you can also look to the sun or the wind or hydropower to get it. So it's a game changer. And hopefully people who are in the bigger part of platinum group metals, because that's where the Cal comes in, they can start looking at pilot projects to prove it up so that they can get this in quickly, because I think we're going to have pressure on them if they are not going green. They're producing green products, but they themselves are not green, and they could be green. They themselves are using too much electricity. That's a big blow to South Africa, and it could help us here. So I hope that people are looking at these improvements, and I'm so pleased Tanzania has taken this effort in making Africa more green, but also bringing a lot more onto the site, and this could spread throughout the continent.
Moving on to coal, exports for the Richards Bay coal terminal have declined for the third consecutive year.
Yes, we have had this situation where we've had COVID, so you would expect it to be down. And I think they did pretty well to keep it in the 70s. So they got 70.2 million tons. That was a very good effort in the circumstances. But if you look at that record, that was created in 2017, 76 point something million tons going out. Ever since then, we've seen a decline. 2020 again was just barely into the 70s with 70.2 million tons, and I think the rail brought in like 70.1 million tons, and basically there's still a bit of a stockpile, so they can always draw on that, and if you give them more coal, they will get it out. But I'm looking at that situation and seeing that the Richards Bay Coal Terminal, it's really well organized. The way there's a seamless effort between the public sector, which is the rail, and then the private sector, which receives all that coal from the rail and sorts it out, puts it onto stockpiles, and then the Port Authority, which is state again, which sees the loading onto these ships. They should look at that model of public-private partnership and say, wow, we can really be seamless. If we work together as South Africa Incorporated, it can really help this country, particularly post-COVID. We need to do things differently and better.
And staying with RBCT, they are improving efficiency to counter ship queuing.
Yes, you often go to the coast, and in the last 2 weeks of the month, you see, wow, what are these ships doing out here? If you're in Richards Bay, it's the same sort of thing. You see a whole queue of ships, and you wonder why this should be the case. Now, probably there's demurrage costs involved there. So if there's a delay, there's a bill to pay. And what Richards Bay Coal Terminal is looking at now is trying to speed up the export side of the business. They're doing very, very well there. They've had a whole new suite of new technology, stackers, reclaimers, which are working fantastically. They spent over R1 billion on that. So they're happy with that performance. Now, how do you actually get those ships in and out faster? Because that will benefit every single member of that Richards Bay Coal Terminal. We see there are 15 entities there, including junior miners. The junior miners have got an allocation which they're not taking up. They can sort of go to 4 million tons. Actually, they're not coming. They're going just towards half of that. So there could be a lot more effort from the junior miners, and to get our coal out into that market fast is important. We see now that for the first time, China is looking at our coal. That would be great to be able to say to China, well, we'll give it to you hugely efficiency when those ships come in there, let's fill them. And one of the projects that they got that has improved, that's going ahead now, this month, is that they say they'll go what they call over the top with the conveying. Now that sounds very good to me, to get it to the ship loader 1 and 2, speeding it up, making sure that they try and cut down on those ships lining up and get that queue reduced to an absolute minimum. And there's another bigger project. That one that's going ahead now will be budgeting at about 25 million rand. They've got another one that they just have to firm up the business case for. They've done all the engineering, and that will add to this whole effort. And then a lot of smaller ones they can use. But a good team down there. The team doesn't change a lot at all. The chairperson is someone who's been in there a long time. The CEO, he's got his team around him. They all stay and work and focus and try and do things better. And they did fantastically on safety, because they declared last year the year of safety. This year is the year of export. So they want to really get moving and make sure those ships don't line up there. They get filled and they go to their market.
Thanks for speaking with us,
It's a
Martin.
great pleasure, Sashni.
That's it for today. Join us again next week for more news analysis on the local and global mining industries. And don't forget to listen to the audio version of our Mining Weekly daily email newsletter.